Hi, Peter Irvine back with our next book in connecting faith to life, business and church from each book of the Bible. And we're starting this series on 1 Samuel. Man, there's so many things in this particular book. I'm trying to encapsulate it down into a few short videos over the next few weeks. So we start with the first video title, You Are Called by God. And we look at the life of Samuel. Who was Samuel? Well, he was a prophet and he was the last of the judges of the nation before the people demanded and actually got a king. And they were warned that this would not end well, and it didn't when they actually got kings. But Samuel was appointed by God, as were each of the prophets. And as a church leader, as a business leader, as a community leader, we sometimes forget who's actually appointed us and think we've got there by our own desires. And if we get there by our own desires and manipulation, it usually doesn't end very well. And Samuel became a leader of leaders. A prophet and a judge at that time became a key advisor to the king when Saul eventually became king. He was also head advisor up to this time and ongoing to the military captains. So you can see he had quite a bit of clout and power. And when Samuel spoke, people listened. That wasn't always the case with some of the people who ran their own journey or ran their own direction. But when Samuel spoke, people listened. And I just want to finish this video with just four simple points around communication. And number one, Samuel simplified his message and everyone understood where he was coming from. We can complicate our messages, and I've done this many times over the years of too much information. Actually, my wife reminded me in some emails, because people misunderstand, I tried to be way too long in explanations and detail, and she said, there's too much detail here. So I've learned more recent times is to try to simplify the message, and it gets through clearly. Number two, he saw the person. He knew his audience that he was speaking to. And, in our churches, when you're speaking, we need to know if it's a youth group, there's a different thinking, a different feel, a different perception. They want to hear, different things related to them. And in a business, a client, you're pitching to them. We spend a lot of time in our advertising agency, who are we pitching to? So the message could be relevant to their business and to them. Number three, show the truth. What does that mean? Well, he lived what he spoke about or what he said. And many of our lives don't always line up with what we say. And you often hear the word, don't listen to what I do, you listen to what I say. But our actions need to line up for the message to get through and be impactful. Number four, seek the response. When he finished, he urged people to obey God. It was very clear. You may not be aware, but some research out of America a few years ago said in a normal sales situation, somewhere between 86 and 87% never ask for the sale. They'll spend time going through documents, showing products, but they never ask for the sale. And I wonder, even in your church, when you speak, when the message is proclaimed, do you ask for a response? In your business, when you ask or present or a product or service or call, do you ever ask for a response? And most people may want more information, but in the end you won't get a response if you don't ask for it. So there we are, video number one. You are called by God, but there's a lot of lessons to learn from this book of Samuel.